I remember that I couldn't get on. Yeah, I remember trying very hard to get You Give Good Love on MTV, and they weren't accepting it because it was very, very R&B kind of song. And then I remember coming up with Saving All My Love for You, and it hit so hard and exploded so heavy that they had no choice but to play it.
Bright stars must have an understanding that initially you will be rejected. Okay? You're not going to be accepted in your hometown. That's why when a bright star is getting ready to illuminate and God decides that he's going to share that bright star and that bright star's gifts with the world, the people that bright star grew up with, friends and family, are usually shocked at the elevation and exposure of the bright star because their friends and family rejected them. It's all part of the process, okay? Don't take it personal. The rejection will start at home for the bright star. And then when they get exposed to the world and the world sees the gift within that bright star, that's when their hometown is like, oh crap, we initially rejected that person. You know, we were jealous of that person. We treated that person badly. And the world admires that person. So it becomes a little bit of a crisis for the people that were close to that bright star at some point because they have no access. And you may be thinking to yourself, aha, the bright star wins. Not really. Not really. And we see that in the story of Whitney Houston. Listen to this audio.
I don't like to go to a lot of parties and stuff. I'm pretty much to myself, you know. But I do get that when I do go. Too much focus on me. You're beeping. I just rather be, you know, there like, you know, everybody else. Kind of sit around and enjoy the atmosphere, you know. I don't really come to sing. So whenever somebody asks me that, I'd say how much you're paying.
In that audio, Whitney was asked, do you get invited to these parties? Do you go? She said no, she doesn't go because she likes to just stay to herself and do her own thing. The problem with the bright star is that the bright star is not liked for who they are at their core. The bright star is liked for their gift. Let me tell you, if you're a bright star or a chosen one, you better understand what I'm teaching you here. Because every bright star goes through the exact same process. There's not one bright star that's different from the other. They all have the similar gifts and anointings. They go through the same process. And the first part of that process for the bright star will be rejection. They will be rejected first because the bright star makes people uncomfortable. Your gifts make people feel small. So the bright star will never be accepted in their hometown. They will never be accepted. The chosen one will never be accepted in their hometown. That's number one. The second part of the process is when the bright star's gifts get exposed. Whoa! We didn't know she could sing like that. Whoa! We didn't know he could talk like that. Whoa! We didn't know she could work like that. Whoa! We didn't know he could dance like that. Whoa! We didn't know she could see like that. It even gets a spiritual gifts. Whoa! We didn't know that she can uplift souls like that. Now the gift is on the table. What does the Bible say? Your gift will make room for you and bring you in front of great men. Now your gift is exposed to the masses. What do people do when a gift is exposed? We're dealing with humans, right? If we're dealing with humans, that means there's going to be some corruption there. When Whitney was discovered by Mr. Clive Davis, they were in shock. They said, this is exactly what we've been looking for. She can sing. She can dance. She got that vibrant energy. August 9th. Okay? We're 7 days apart. She got that fire in her. Ooh, okay. She's fired up. She walks on stage in flames. She lights up the atmosphere. We like that. She's the one. She's the one. We need her. They discovered her talent. eventually to use, abuse, overwhelm, manipulate, control, and then eventually discard when she wanted out. Poor Whitney. But it's a telltale sign of what most bright stars will encounter if they don't have their own personal protection in place. The problem is people are a bright star. They don't know that they're a bright star. Why? Because people are jealous of bright stars. So no one's going to tell you that you got a lot of power in you. They're going to tell you you're not all that. And when a bright star does not know they are a bright star, they fall into the hands of the wrong people. If you're watching this and you're a bright star and you're a chosen one, your power is yours. You hear me? Your talent belongs to you. Don't give it to anybody else. It's not theirs. If they want what you have, they can go and get it. And if they can't go and get it, maybe it's not a part of their life path and they should leave you alone and stay out of your way. But they're not going to do that. They want to use what you have for their own personal gain. Bright stars, people don't care about you as a person. You don't matter. You're obsolete. That's why a lot of bright stars pass away from addiction problems, because they're lonely. Nobody cares about you as a person when you're a bright star or you're chosen. You probably have 2 people that give 2 damns about you. The rest of the world, they want to use you for that gift that you have, which is fine. Your gift will make room for you. Your gift will make money for you. Your gift will bring you in, high places. Your gift will sit you on tables because you got that talent and people see that. The problem is, are they corrupt or not? Because if they are corrupted, you will be used. That gift, they're going to make it their own. Like in the movie Sinners. The vampires wanted Sammy because Sammy had the gift. And they told Sammy, you can sing, you can uplift a room, you can play the guitar. When the vampires were talking about him, every time they talked about his gift, they fell in love. They didn't give a damn about Sammy. They wanted what he had. When you're a bright star, people don't care about you. They want what you have. That's why I always walk through the world with that mentality. I always tell myself, I can count who genuinely cares about my soul and who would come to a hospital and feed me on one hand. Everyone else, it's the gift that they want access to. And that applies to you guys. Even at your job, they don't care about you. They care about the fact that you can take on the work of 15 people and they don't have to pay 15. They can just pay you the little chunk change that they're paying you. And you think that your manager likes you. No, she does not. No, he does not. They like the fact that you can do the job of 10 people and you're putting more money in their pocket. They're using your gift for their own personal gain. And that's what happened to Miss Whitney. Bright stars must have an understanding that initially you will be rejected. Okay? You're not going to be accepted in your hometown. That's why when a bright star is getting ready to illuminate and God decides that he's going to share that bright star and that bright star's gifts with the world, the people that bright star grew up with, friends and family, are usually shocked at the elevation and exposure of the bright star because their friends and family rejected them. It's all part of the process, okay? Don't take it personal. The rejection will start at home for the bright star. And then when they get exposed to the world and the world sees the gift within that bright star, that's when their hometown is like, oh crap, we initially rejected that person. We were jealous of that person. We treated that person badly. And the world admires that person. So it becomes a little bit of a crisis for the people that were close to that bright star at some point because they have no access. And you may be thinking to yourself, aha, the bright star wins. Not really. Not really. And we see that in the story of Whitney Houston. Listen to this audio. In that audio, Whitney was asked, do you get invited to these parties? Do you go? She said no. She doesn't go because she likes to just stay to herself and do her own thing. The problem with the bright star is that the bright star is not liked for who they are at their core. The bright star is liked for their gift. All right? Now, this is what bright stars and chosen ones have to understand. People don't like you for you. A very small amount of people like you for your soul. Most people like you for what you carry. That's why bright stars have to wield their power. You can't give your power to people. Because for me, most people don't like me. They like what's on me. There's a difference. It's not me that they like. They don't know me. It's what's on me that they're attracted to. And they will suck me dry if I allow them to. Because it's the power that they want to get in proximity to. It's the gift that they want for them. Okay? It's the gift that they want to be able to control. They didn't give a damn about Whitney Houston. Look at the way she passed. They didn't care about her. They cared about her gift and the money that she could bring in. She was just a pawn to them. That's exactly how they treated Michael. That's exactly how they treated Anna Nicole Smith. That's exactly how they treated Aaliyah. Exactly how they're currently treating Britney. Nobody cares about the bright star. They care about the star within the bright star and the money and power it can bring to them, because people are selfish. And you will realize that with the movie Sinners. Spoiler alert, you can go ahead and skip a little bit if you haven't seen the movie. Sammy in the movie, all the vampires were after Sammy. Why? Because Sammy had the gift. He could sing. He could perform. So all the vampires that were showing up, they were after Sammy, all of them. Blood-sucking, blood-drooling, vampire eye-having, hundreds of them were after Sammy. And they even said, if we can get Sammy, we'll leave everybody alone. We just want Sammy. They didn't care about Sammy as a person. They wanted Sammy because Sammy carried the gift. So bright stars essentially are rejected. And then when people see what's in them and how they can capitalize on what's in them, now they want the bright star to be controlled. When Whitney Houston was young, beautiful, vibrant, talented, when the label saw Whitney, they're like, oh my God, she is a force to be reckoned with. Yes, we need her on our record label. She can sing. She's witty. She's funny. She's strong. We want Miss Whitney on our record label because she can be the driving force. We're literally 8 days apart. Whitney has that fire in her. And what do I say about people who have that fire in them? Why do people get near them? To steal the warmth. Okay? So bright stars, anybody who's a bright star is going to have a very interesting experience in life. Meaning the way that people treat you, the bright star's biggest challenge will be, do these people like me for me, or do they like me for my gift alone? And the Bible says that your gift will make room for you. It'll bring you in front of big people, absolutely. But if you don't allow God to wield your gift, humans are going to pervert you. Humans, let me tell you something about humans, okay? Humans corrupt things. If you bring humans into an ecosystem, a beautiful forest with healthy animals and flowers, humans are going to destroy the environment because they're corrupt. And humans operate from their lower nature. Many people are not enlightened. They operate from their lower nature. So when they find a bright star or somebody with some type of talent, that's why in the workplace, if you show them you work well, they're going to use you. They're going to use every bit of you. They're going to drain you. They're going to make you start training everybody. Okay? They're going to make you work overtime. They're going to make you pick up people's slack. They're going to make you keep covering for people. Why? Because people drain you when you have substance. I remember there was a time for one of my industries, I sat down with a man and he said, wow, you're really smart. You really know your stuff. And I said, yeah, so this is how I would like to do. This is how I want my brand to be built. He's like, wait. You're really smart though. How about I put you with this person? I said, sir, I work alone. I don't use my talents for other people. I don't allow people to make me their horse. My power is for me. I'm not working with anybody else. You're highly mistaken. You know I'm smart. You see it. But guess what? I know I'm smart too. And I know that people will abuse that if I give them that access. So I work alone, sir. I don't want to be a part of a team. I don't do teams. I work alone. This is what I want. Can I get the split that I desire or not? And he knew I meant business when I sat with him. And in that moment, the way he looked at me, he's like, oh crap, she's too smart. She's not very usable. She has the talent, but she's not going to let anybody use it. She's going to do it her way. And when you're a bright star, you don't let people use your power for them. You don't do no collaborations. You don't do all that. You work alone. You're a singer, you develop your own record label, or eventually that should be the goal. Or you're going to get used and abused. Like what happened with Miss Whitney and how she was taken out, allegedly, which I believe. Bright stars initially will get rejected. They will be rejected by the people the closest to them, and then they will be exposed to the world. Every bright star gets exposed to the world. When God sees you, God will tell the bright star, all right, let's get you out there. You're mine. I gave you the gift that you had. Every gift comes from God. There's no gift that comes from Satan. People use their gift from the kingdom of Satan when they choose the devil over God, but gifts don't come from the kingdom of hell. Gifts come from above. They come from God. God gives gifts. People turn their back on God and they use their gift for the kingdom of darkness, which is why they end up, prematurely, like Whitney Houston, that got away from, her beliefs eventually, I'm sure, because she was a part of Hollywood. Hollywood requires a lot of rituals. But if her gift was solely used for God and God wielded her power, they wouldn't be able to take her out the way that they did. And by they, yes, I mean they, allegedly. So if you are a chosen one or a bright star, your gift is for you. It's not for other people. Actually, it's for God. And you ask God, God, what do you want us to do with this gift? You gave it to me, God. What do you want me to do? You don't allow humans to come in with their sticky, dirty fingers trying to get their hands on what's not theirs, because that's exactly what they do. You have to wield your power and your talent so things go your way. And eventually, when Whitney wanted things to go her way, that's when they decided, okay, she's trying to call, how she wants things to go. Okay, we're going to get rid of you, Miss Whitney, because we don't care about you. We care about your gift and the money it can bring us. And now you wanting to do things your way is going to cause us to lose money. So we want to get you out of our face. We're going to get rid of you. And we're going to collect all of that insurance money from the record label and put it in our pockets, because now you no longer can be controlled. Allegedly. Every bright star will go through the same process in life. You just have to know what I'm teaching you so you can stick and move and you don't get taken out. Not all bright stars get taken out, only some. I worked in HR for several years, so in this class, I am going to teach you guys tips, tricks, and valuable information so you can be a corporate Spartan. It is not easy working in corporate America, but if you have the right office politics and you know your rights legally, that will definitely help you have a more enjoyable experience. So this class, I will be teaching you from an HR standpoint, what to do, what not to do, and how to jump paths so that you can get the promotions that you always wanted, what to look out for and what not to look out for in office politics. Also, next class on power. Power is very, very important. This class is not about feminine power. It's about power in life and having staying power. To get through life, when you're dealing with humans, men and women, you need to learn how to make sure that you have staying power, and you need to learn how to make sure that all of the moves that you make sense so you can always be 25 steps ahead of everyone else, because life is chess, not checkers.